The average American family lives under a mountain of debt: credit cards, car loans, mortgages that never seem to shrink. But inside Amish communities, debt is almost non-existent, not just for one lifetime, but across generations. This isn't luck, it isn't higher income, it's a strict financial system built on rules most people would never accept. No credit, no impulse spending, no shortcuts. We expose the 10 spending rules that keep Amish families permanently debt-free, and why ignoring them is exactly what keeps modern households trapped. Distinguish needs from wants. Amish families operate with a definition of needs so narrow it would shock most modern households. True needs fall into only 4 categories: food, shelter, clothing, and community connection. Everything else, regardless of how essential it may feel, is classified as a want. This distinction is taught to children from an early age, shaping lifelong financial habits before consumer culture has a chance to interfere. Food means nourishment, not convenience or indulgence. Shelter means protection, not status or excess space. Clothing means practicality and modesty, not fashion or variety. Community means shared labor and gatherings, not entertainment purchases or digital subscriptions. By maintaining this framework, Amish families prevent lifestyle inflation even as income increases. Wants are delayed until all needs are fully met and savings remain untouched. Over time, families often discover that once security exists, most wants lose their urgency. Modern culture constantly rebrands luxuries as necessities. The Amish reject this entirely, and in doing so, free themselves from endless consumption. Never buy what you cannot pay for, cash-only living. The foundation of Amish financial stability begins with a rule so absolute that it immediately eliminates debt before it can exist. If an item cannot be paid for in full with cash today, it simply is not purchased. There are no exceptions, no future promises, and no emotional justifications. Credit cards do not exist in Amish homes. Payment plans are not negotiated. Buy now, pay later schemes never enter the conversation. Every transaction either happens with money already earned or does not happen at all. This approach transforms purchasing into a deliberate act rather than an emotional impulse. Rooted in a literal interpretation of biblical teaching, debt is viewed not merely as financial risk, but as spiritual bondage, an obligation that compromises independence and strains relationships. As a result, large purchases become long-term goals. Families save for years before buying furniture, tools, or land. Young couples spend a decade preparing for marriage, accumulating everything they will need before their household even begins. The absence of debt removes anxiety, interest payments, and financial emergencies, replacing them with certainty and control. Buy quality that lasts generations. Walk into an Amish home and you will find furniture older than most modern houses. Tables built in the 19th century, dressers crafted before automobiles existed. These items are not decorative antiques, they are daily use tools still performing their purpose. The Amish approach to purchasing prioritizes durability over price. While a handcrafted solid wood table may cost several times more than a particle board alternative, it never needs replacement. Cheap items, on the other hand, break, wear out, and demand constant repurchasing. Over a lifetime, the cheap option becomes vastly more expensive. This philosophy extends to tools, cookware, equipment, and building materials. Quality items can be repaired instead of replaced. Craftsmanship matters more than branding. The Amish have observed this pattern across generations and internalized a simple truth: buying cheap is buying repeatedly. Modern consumer culture encourages planned obsolescence, benefiting manufacturers while draining households financially. The Amish quietly opt out and keep their money. Share major purchases. Rather than accumulating individual wealth, Amish communities reduce costs through shared ownership. Expensive equipment that is rarely used, such as farm machinery, is purchased collectively. 5 families contribute instead of 1, reducing individual costs dramatically while ensuring access for everyone. The same principle applies to bulk purchasing. Families combine orders for flour, sugar, fabric, and other staples directly from wholesalers, cutting costs by as much as half. Weddings follow this same communal structure. Instead of crushing expenses falling on one family, hundreds contribute food, labor, or small amounts of money. Medical needs are addressed through church funds rather than insurance companies. Monthly contributions are modest, and money stays within the community. This system transforms financial vulnerability into shared resilience, something no individual savings account can replicate. Make instead of buy. One of the most powerful Amish financial advantages is skill. Skills turn expenses into production. Gardens feed families year-round through canning, freezing, and root cellars. Chickens provide eggs. Cows supply milk, butter, and cheese. Grocery spending drops to a fraction of what most households consider normal. Clothing is sewn at home, saving thousands annually, especially in large families. Furniture, repairs, and maintenance are handled internally whenever possible. While these skills demand time and effort, they eliminate reliance on constant spending. Instead of trading money for convenience, Amish families trade labor for independence. This approach compounds across a lifetime, creating resilience against economic shocks. Modern families depend almost entirely on the cash economy for every need. The Amish do not, and that difference alone reshapes their financial destiny. Plan years ahead. Impulse spending cannot exist when purchases require years of preparation. Amish children receive hope chests around adolescence and spend a decade filling them with handmade items for future homes. Farm equipment purchases are planned years in advance, with money set aside monthly. Homes are built gradually, often starting small and expanding as cash allows. Without interest payments, the final cost of a home may be nearly half that of a mortgaged equivalent. This long-term thinking fundamentally alters the relationship between desire and action. Every major purchase is discussed carefully, often involving family and church elders. Accountability replaces impulse, patience replaces pressure, and financial crises never arrive unexpectedly. Buy used and repurpose everything. Secondhand is not a downgrade in Amish culture. It is the default. Thrift stores, estate sales, and auctions are not last resorts. They are first stops. Clothing is purchased for durability, not trends, which makes age irrelevant and fashion meaningless. A garment is judged by how long it will work, not how new it looks. Building materials are treated the same way. Lumber salvaged from old barns and structures is often stronger than anything sold today. Windows, doors, hardware, and beams are reclaimed, repaired, and reused rather than discarded. What modern culture calls old, the Amish call proven. Nothing is thrown away simply because it shows wear. Items are fixed, adapted, and repurposed until they no longer serve any function at all. Waste is failure. Efficiency is skill. This approach does not feel like sacrifice because nothing valuable is being given up. Status is removed from spending, and wisdom replaces it. When appearance stops driving purchases, money stops leaking out of the household. Refuse all credit. Amish do not manage debt. They eliminate it. Mortgages, car loans, credit cards, and financing plans are rejected outright. Credit is not seen as a convenience. It is seen as control. Borrowing money means committing future labor to past decisions, and the Amish refuse that trade. Homes are not bought through banks. They are built with cash, slowly and deliberately, expanding only when money already exists. Ownership is total. No interest, no foreclosure, no payments that follow families for decades. Transportation follows the same rule. Without car ownership, there are no auto loans, no insurance premiums, no fuel bills draining income month after month. Credit cards are absent by design. Spending money you haven't earned removes discipline from the transaction. Cash restores it. When the money is gone, spending stops immediately. No delay, no justification, no future penalty disguised as affordability. By refusing credit entirely, Amish families erase interest payments, remove financial anxiety, and break free from the illusion that debt makes life easier. Their system doesn't promise speed or comfort, it guarantees control. And control is what keeps them free. Maintain large emergency funds. Before spending a single dollar on comfort or convenience, Amish families secure survival first. They maintain cash reserves large enough to live 6 months or more with no income at all. This is not optional, it is non-negotiable. For farming families, this reserve is a lifeline. Crops fail. Weather destroys seasons of work. Equipment breaks at the worst possible moment. Illness removes income without warning. Because the money is already there, none of these events trigger debt, panic, or desperate decisions. Medical emergencies are faced calmly, not because they are inexpensive, but because they are expected. Savings exist for impact, not optimism. Every purchase is weighed against one question: does this weaken our ability to survive disruption? Comfort never outranks security. Luxury never comes before stability. The result is not deprivation, it is confidence. Preparedness delivers a level of peace no upgrade, purchase, or convenience can replace. Community over consumption. At the core of Amish financial freedom lies a simple truth. Fulfillment does not come from owning more. It comes from belonging. Community replaces entertainment. Shared labor replaces paid services. Mutual aid replaces insurance. In choosing people over products, the Amish avoid the endless consumption cycle that keeps modern households financially exhausted. Their spending rules are not restrictive. They are protective, and they have worked for centuries. The Amish don't avoid debt because they fear money. They avoid debt because they understand it. Their rules are not shortcuts. They are commitments to patience, to discipline, and to community. In a world built on instant gratification, their way may seem extreme, but the results speak clearly: freedom, security, and peace. Perhaps the real question isn't whether their rules are outdated, but whether we abandon them too quickly.